in that little rectangular box?
I don't think we have any. Claire had a question from earlier, which was she was wondering, and I think this might be something you're going to get to in the next slide. She wants to know if this is really for the next slide, is whether she often goes up the line in your second diagram. But she wants, Alan would like, yeah. So Ray is here. Ray, what's going on, man? And Alan. So they want a little bit more clarification of the T's again. You know, Ray says, so I go to the middle, and Alan says, please explain little and big T once again. Let me take a crack at it, Faisal, and you can let me know if I get it right. You've got one T formed by the service line intersecting with the center service line. So in other words, the line that down the middle that creates the deuce court and the ad court for when you serve, that forms a T. So that's one T we go to, and that's when we're up at net. And then when we're back at the baseline, if player B was further back, then like back at the baseline, then there's the little T that you kind of stand next to when you serve. So I go to one of those two T's.
Correct, 100% correct.
All right, cool. And Alan says you got it. So I guess I passed the test. Cool. I think we're good, man.
Okay, so once again, if you're in the beginning versus beginning mode, you could be defending or neutral, right? I just explained the defending role and the tactical response. Now, if you one up, one back, once again, A and B, and you need a defense, so you're therefore neutral. You're trying to stay in it. So most likely in this diagram, player A is the hitter. Player B is the non-hitter. Each one has a role in a neutral response. The hitter is the worker B. You're the one working your tail off player A. And as the worker B, you're basically, for the most part, trying to hit to the player furthest away. Based on the geometry, you're going to keep hitting to player Y. That's the double percentage play. If player A is comfortable enough to take some risk and lob over X or go down the line, that's their choice. But in terms of this rectangular box, I just showed the hitter's high percentage play, i.e. the worker B gets it to the player furthest back, which is player Y. Now, when you say hit it to player Y, you could go for the angle, you could go for the deep corner to Y, or you could go down the middle between X and Y. That's your choice in the neutral mode as the hitter. The non-hitter does what I call the French fry shuffle. Let me explain. Have you all seen these throw-down lines, the yellow long strips that coaches use to place on the tennis court? The kids call them French fries. So what I do is when we work on the non-hitter in a neutral mode, in the beginning versus beginning, I place the French fries down at a diagonal for player A. And basically what player B has to do is once the ball goes by player X, they'll French fry shuffle 3 steps forward. Now, why does player B move forward when the ball is hit by player X? If player B does not move forward, if you notice where Y is, there's a big hole in that service box and the alley area for player B. So once the ball is hit by player X, by player A, player B will do the French fry shuffle and move 3 steps forward at a shuffle. You're shuffling. That's player B, once the ball goes by X. Once Y hits it past B again, they need to French fry shuffle 2 steps back. So player B, the non-hitter, does the French fry shuffle with the ball. So once the ball goes by the French fry shuffle, goes 3 steps forward. Once Y hits it past B, they'll take 2 steps back doing the French fry. So that's what you do in neutral. So you keep doing the move, the hitter and the non-hitter in neutral. If you get to defense, that's worst case scenario. You then communicate, you go to the T. So within these two modes is what you'll encounter when you're beginning versus beginning. Any questions on beginning versus the beginning, the defending, or the neutral phases?
Yeah, so let me jump in. There's a couple questions. Ross wants to know, well, Thomas, so all sort of similar. Thomas was saying that, and Faisal, can you move your mouse a little bit just to see if the mouse
Yes,
if you,
there you go. Okay.
I'm just wondering if the mouse. Okay, so it can. All right, perfect. So, because Steve was wondering if you can move the mouse. So,
Sure.
Thomas says player B seems very towards the center, leaving the alley vulnerable. And Ross is wondering, is this a diagonal shuffle? And then, of course, Steve was the one that recommended the mouse. So, can you? I've seen this presentation about a year ago, and I think B moves diagonally. Would you be able to just move very slowly with your mouse the movement that B is supposed to follow? So let's say A hits the ball and it passes player X. So A hits the ball and it passes player X. Now, if you put the mouse cursor on B right now, how should B move? Okay.
So 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. 3 forward, 2 back. Now, let me first answer, I think, Ross's question. The reason I have B playing closer to the T initially is worst case scenario, player X, okay, A is going to hit to X, right? If they hit to X, at least I'm covering this area right here. This is a tougher shot for X, correct? So I'm being a pessimist and standing right here saying, player A, the worst case player A is going to hit is to the net guy. I'm going to start off over here. So I've got this covered in case he drops it. So I've got this shot covered. So based on the law of averages, X can hit over here, and over here. If I'm over here, B, I'm covering the middle. Could have a chance if it hits a drop volley. I'm leaving that open. That's a tougher shot. Now, as the match goes on, if I notice X likes that shot, player B is going to tell A, I'm going to move more over here because this person has a tendency. But if they keep hitting over there, I question why B is standing here. Maybe go back. So that's why B starts off closer to the T. Now, back to the question originally. Y serves, A hits the return. Return goes by player X. Now, it's safe for B to now move in. So once the ball goes by X, B takes 3 steps forward, French fly shuffle right there. So they'll be right there where the pointer is.
And it's like a diagonal move a little bit.
Diagonal move, correct. It's a
All right, closer to the alley.
Correct. Now, if I go all the way this way, see the big hole in the middle? That's why you go slightly this way. Now, once Y, or should Y, hit the ball past me, then I will go 2 steps back. So what I call B's positioning is, B is the goalkeeper right here, the goalie. Once the ball goes by X, 3 steps forward, becoming the predator. So you switch from goalie to predator, goalie to predator. So I'm addressing the non-hitter now. 3 steps forward to become the predator. 2 steps back when Y hits it past B to become a goalie again. Goalie, predator, predator, goalie. 3 steps forward, predator. 2 steps back, goalie. That's your move in neutral. Defense is totally different. Let's say Y hits this great return right here, draws A off the court. We're now on defense. B now goes to the T because they're playing singles. Does that answer your question, people?
Give everybody a hot second to just type in the chat. If that makes sense, just type yes in the chat. And if you have a follow-up, go ahead and just fire that out real quick. But it sounds like, Faisal, you're saying the net guy is really adjusting his positioning. So it was clear for everybody, but the net guy is adjusting his or her positioning really based on who on the opponent's team has kind of a crack at the ball, right? And if the net, yeah, okay. If X has an opportunity to hit, B is positioned to first cover X, but once it goes by, it's obviously now on Y's. Y is going to hit it, so now B positions himself to cover what Y might come up with.
Correct.
Cool. All right, yeah, everybody gets it. We're all good.
Good. All right, so that's the first diagram we had when we had those 4 courts.